Hi everybody. Okay, this is gonna be my last video for a couple hours because I have to do other stuff after this. Alright. So the reason why this video is coming a little late is because like I said, I just figured out today that there's only gonna be one day of trial this week and this is it for the Karen Reed. Now don't ask me why we don't have 3 more days of trial. I don't know. Nothing in Massachusetts works the way I'm used to. I'm used to taking breaks and having a couple of days, like one day here, whatever, but not this constant, like, I don't know if there's trial or whatever. And I like continuity. I like to know what's going on. So, yeah, I'm not a fan. Alright. So, apparently, because of the no trial, they're trying to squeeze in as many witnesses and testimony as much as they can. Okay? Which means that you got a lot of witnesses today, and I kept them straight. But let me tell you, um, you're lucky I'm watching this and you're not, because it would put you to sleep today. All right. So the first witness we had was Brian Higgins, the last of his testimony. Why he was still up there, I don't know, because I think that they got the best out of him on day 17. And also, he just seemed really sketchy, but that's been the motive or whatever for most of the witnesses, so I don't put much weight into it anymore. Okay. So then we move on to the doctors. We have an ER medicine, Dr. Rice. Okay, Dr. Rice may have gone to medical school, but he just doesn't seem to me to be that intelligent because part of intelligence is, and this is from my own experience and own opinion, so don't shoot me down, all right? But if you're able to discuss something in a level where most people can understand it, then you're doing pretty good. When you use too many big words and multiple syllables and to be impressive, I automatically turn off. And I'm pretty sure most people do because, first of all, you don't have to sound that high class in normal situations. And number two, most people will be looking at you like, what are you talking about? So he was one of those. And also, the reason why I said he didn't seem that intelligent is because he would say, well, I don't know what you're referring to. And I'm talking basic stuff here. And he's like, I don't know. A lot. Okay. Then we go on to another doctor. Um, he was kind of boring. So I kind of didn't listen to much of his testimony. Then we go on to a guy who could be a toxicologist, but he's not a full on like he's not a level whatever. He's probably in the middle where he knows enough stuff, but he doesn't know everything. But I like him because he seemed to be the most truthful besides his Sullivan sisters. Okay. Oh, and there was a time too where we had some juvenile witnesses, but we couldn't see their faces because, or anything, because their identities and stuff were withheld. So there were 2 bits of testimony. I don't know what they testified about. Um, I have an inkling, but I'm not entirely sure. So we're gonna have to do without 2 witnesses here. All right. So then we get to the toxicology guy, which I just talked about. Then we went to the 2 other people about the logistics of equipment and stuff. Okay, now the first of these witnesses was very sweet, like a good grandpa. Like, okay, picture a grandpa in your mind, and that's probably what this guy is like. He's really sweet, really willing to help with the testimony, but very boring, and it's because of that's his job. So I'm not gonna put that on him. You know, I'm not gonna do that. Okay. So then the last witness was another like equipment person, but more about the type of truck. I don't know. He's talking about like well, if you know what a 4 ton versus a 3 ton, and I, I literally, ladies and gentlemen, I got 9 hours of sleep last night, and I'm fully rested, fully ready to go, and this guy almost put me to sleep, legit. So yeah. So I'm sorry that I don't have all this testimony, and I can't tell you verbatim what they said, but be glad I'm watching it and you're not. because because today, wow. Yeah. Um yeah, okay. So what I can do, because there wasn't much um meat on the bones today, I'm gonna go back and say the testimony I liked and the testimony I could do without. Now, as far as, I'm just gonna call day 18 kind of a wash, because besides Brian Higgins, who just happened to be a crossover from day 17, we don't really need day 18. I mean, I guess you need it from a logistical standpoint, but you don't really need it. So yeah. But Brian Higgins, and it's funny because it makes me think that people are watching my content, and they're probably not. But it also makes me think that I think like most people, because I said that Brian Higgins read to me like a guy who has no game and is like a 40-year-old or 40 something trapped in like a 13-year-old trapped in a 41-year-old body. That's what he read to me as. And I've seen that a lot and heard that a lot from other people too. And that's after I said that. So I must not be too much off the mark. But I just, okay. Um, on the one hand, I would say, well, what I said was, if you want to get down to it, he seemed to have the most motive for wanting John O'Keefe out of the picture, honestly. Because if he loved Karen Reed so much, or was that attracted to her and all the other things, then he would have the most motive, right? But he doesn't know how to read the room. Okay, if a woman tells you, I'm not interested, that means I'm not interested. That doesn't mean try harder, try a different tactic. It means I'm not interested. Number two, most men would, when you say you're not interested, just move on. He looks like somebody like, I don't know, hurt him when she rejected, and I mean really hurt him when she rejected him. And it's like, oh, okay, but you kind of knew what you're getting yourself into, because I know we went through the text, which kind of felt like a bad eighth grade date or something. But also, she, for her side of it, and this is from the text alone, okay? She seems very non-committal to anything, and he'll ask her questions and she won't respond, and she won't give a direct yes, no. I mean, that would give you clues of she's not that into you, you know. So for that, I kind of go back around, but I kind of feel like, well, she was with him, like John O'Keefe. So, okay, after that, like I said, I really don't think we needed the kid's testimony because, yeah, why? I mean, okay, so the most you could probably question them is, did they seem like they had a lot of arguments or something? And Did they seem to get along a lot or not? Maybe. And that would be the extent of your questioning. Okay. And then for the doctors, okay, what I'm saying here is this is my position only. If you're a doctor of any sort, I expect you to have more knowledge than me. I have a bachelor's degree, okay? But I don't consider myself ultra smart. I just don't, okay? But you having a PhD or a medical should have more knowledge than I do. And you should be able to explain your job in a way I can understand it. So if I'm going, what? Huh? There's a problem here. Yeah. And just, okay, if I can make a plea to all the witnesses coming up, if there are going to be more witnesses, please just give the information. Don't do this hip ha. I don't want to answer the question. And then you act like you know what you're talking about at first. And then you act like you lost your head in the second half of the cross examination. Don't do that. Okay, I've dealt with 18 days of this, 40 something witnesses. Just don't. Just don't. Because if I'm feeling like this, probably the jury is feeling like this too. So, and please, I mean, be honest, but don't try to protect somebody because you think you're trying to protect them. Just say what it is. And whatever it is, it's going to come out anyway. So, yeah. All right. Bye, everybody.